This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey, hold right there. Don't dare skip this. This is an important message. Me and my boy Albert Davis, we want to tell you about our podcast, Seriously Dad. Albert, why should they listen?
Because it's the best podcast in the world. It's by two comedians who are dads. And you know what we're talking about? Being dads. It's called Seriously Dad. Check us out on social media at Seriously Dad Podcast. And
anywhere you get your podcast, that's where we're at. We're funny. We got some great guests coming our way. We cover the topics you want to hear. Check us out.
The old saying goes, if you don't work, you don't eat. Well, there's a new saying for the new generation. You either grind or starve. Established in 2015, Grind or Starve Apparel has become the premier fashion brand for today's hustlers, entrepreneurs, and CEOs in the making. The online store provides groundbreaking styles and innovative designs for today's go-getters, proving that you can grind and look good at the same time. Grind or Starve has several collections to choose from. The new GOS Luxury, Designer, Location Apparel, rep your city to the fullest, Fitness, Barber Edition, Stylist Edition, and Baker's Edition. Go to gosapparel.com the next time you need a hoodie, polo, G-shirts, bags, all made with the best quality materials. Grind or Starve. The choice is yours. Go to gosapparel.com. High IQ basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. What's going on, bro?
I'm gonna go for like a quadruple double.
And welcome to another edition of High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and my man 50 grand, 25 in each hand, Raymond Byrd. What's going on, man?
It's good, man. How you doing today?
And we got super producer Neil in the building from Drop Tent. What's happening, Neil?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
We're going to get right into it. Opening day, opening night, NBA tip-off was last night. We had ring night for the Denver Nuggets. They hosted the LA Lakers, which they swept in the Western Conference Finals just a few months ago. The banner went up, first ever banner in Nuggets history. And they went on to beat the Lakers. AD, no call, no show. 17 points in the first half, 0 points in the second half, 1 rebound in the first half. Meanwhile, the Joker put up one of his, customary triple doubles. Bron had 21 in limited minutes. What's your take on the game, man? I know it's game one. I know you told me stop tripping. We was texting back and forth last night.
Right.
You told me to stop tripping.
It's game one, ton of energy in the building. You just won a championship. Then you got to have some semblance of a rivalry building between these two teams. So, if the Lakers had beat them, I wouldn't have took much from it because we've seen many champions come out on opening night and get smoked. And they go on to have, a great regular season. So I don't take a lot from it. But what I did say, and I was a little surprised, and then I thought about it, and maybe I understood a little bit more after I thought about it. But initially, I thought they was going to start Jackson Hayes or Christian Wood, one of the key signings at the 5. I thought it was all season. You heard about AD being so happy about going back to the 4. Then on opening night, you put him at the 5, and he had to guard Joker. You know what I mean? So it was
Which
like
he can't.
Right, he's too big. AD is a 4. You know what I mean? Today's league, he could play 5 on a lot of nights, but he's really a 4. So you force him to have to guard the 5. I thought maybe they should have started Jackson Hayes or Christian Wood and have AD off the ball to help at the rim against Joker when he took it, because neither one of them are big enough to guard him either. But you got AD on the help side, it changes things. But then I thought about LeBron would have had to chase Porter. And Brian you probably open it, you got him on limited minutes. You don't want Brian running around screens all night. So that's probably, I'm assuming, why they play AD at the 5 so they could play Brian at the 4. Because if you would have played Jackson Hayes or Christian Wood, you would have had to play Brian at the 3. And he would have had to run around with Porter. So maybe that was why.
Well, it sounds like you lose either way in terms of the matchup defensively.
I think I'm assuming you got Brian on a minutes restriction for a reason. Maybe he ain't ramped all the way up, and you want to take it slow with him in regards to getting him up to the minutes you're going to have him on a regular basis. So on opening night, I'm assuming later on in the season when you get to playoffs or whatever the case may be, all right, Brian, you got to suck it up. Maybe you got to run around with Porter. But on opening night, I can see how I'm gonna throw you at the 4 give you an easier matchup where you ain't got to do so much moving.
My takeaway from the game is we're seeing more of the same. The Nuggets are a bad matchup for the Lakers at the center position and at the point guard position. Murray is a problem.
Murray can play. D'Lo, I remember we talked about this last episode. I am not a D'Lo guy. D'Lo ass. You know what I mean? Like, yo, D'Lo don't give you like in this kind of matchup, and you know, he's a super skilled guard. He can shoot the basketball, handles, very crafty, but he ain't it. You know, and don't get me wrong, like you could tell like he's tailored his game more to trying to fit into a specific role.
Right.
He's working hard on defense.
Right.
He's giving you a lot more effort. But he ain't it, man. He was 4 for 11 last night. He ain't had much impact on the game, especially in a game where maybe, you know, you ain't getting a lot from 80 in the second half. D'Lo making 25, 30 million. Like, all right, you supposed to kick it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Supposed to kick it up, but can't. And Murray, the way their offense is set up,
Golden State, like, right? It's a lot of
is,
move. It's a lot of
especially
move,
at the elbows and at the wings, where they set these screens where Prince fought his heart out trying to get over
Prince.
these. I love Prince
He
too.
played good ball yesterday.
And he definitely played ball. He's a shooter. He stretches the floor. He can defend.
He got a little. I can catch one dribble, get to a floater, get to the rim. Like he got a little bit of. He fits perfectly with that team.
He does fit perfectly.
But you see, I'm sorry to interrupt you. My apologies.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
You saw end of the game where Lakers tightened the game up and they went to that high Joker at the high post and just all right, we're gonna score 7 straight and stretch this thing right back out. They was running so much action off of it, and the Lakers did a great job. Like we're not allowing you to get the backdoor cut, but Murray's so good that all right, you're not giving me that. I'm gonna flare out, get a jumper. I'm gonna come off the screen and get a baseline. Like yo, action is tough to deal with.
Flare out off of that screen up top, and it creates so much space. Murray gets a wide open look
because you gotta because Joker's such a great passer that he will, as soon as you get a step behind, he gonna hit him on the back door for a layup. So you're not trying to give up the layup, but you're trying to stay attached. You got to give up something. And I thought the Lakers, if you look at the game, like I thought they did a great job in regards to all of that action, switching it. You know, I mean, they're assigned. They were on their assignment. They did their job. But, I mean, you're champions for a reason.
They did their job initially, but with NBA offenses, there's a lot of counters to what you do defensively. Right. So if your primary task is to stop Murray off of that screen from Joker, then there's a backdoor cut for KCP that counters that.
Fact.
And they were getting backdoor layups all game too. And then in the fourth quarter, Murray the way the offense is set up is just different options. And all of them work.
Didn't that remind you of Brian? Remember at times when Brian would be in Cleveland or Miami, whatever, and he would have the ball and he would just run the same play over and over. Like he would just get that rhythm of whatever this play was. And I'm going to find JR on the corner, or I'm going to find Kyrie, or I'm going to find the lob. Like he would just run that same play over. Once he found something that you couldn't stop into the game, he would just do it over and over and hit all the options out of it. And that's what it looked like last night with Denver. Like whatever, they ran that high post action and they were getting great looks out of it every single time. And that's what stretched the game out. But I also, like I said, I don't take too much from it because Brown was on limited minutes and he played well. I think the Lakers have a good basketball team. Do I think they could be? I think you got to move off of D'Lo at some point. At some point in time, hopefully later on in the season when it's trade deadline or whatever the case may be, you gotta improve there because he gotta bring more than what he brings.
I agree. I agree. I don't want to hear any more "Who's Your Daddy" chants.
They was putting the crown on their head. They was acting real crazy out there. Real disrespectful.
Wild disrespectful. In Colorado these days, they taking it personal. They taking it. If you from Colorado, everybody from Colorado is just taking it personal, man.
You see Shador and them out there.
I saw Shador. I saw Trav. Yeah, man. I saw Brian give him some love after the game too.
Listen, man, like that's when you. That's why you don't put all this energy into. Oh, we can't wait to play Denver. You gonna get our get back. You can't get your get back in game one. They just want to chip, man. You gotta save that.
You just wanted. They just want to chip. So AD looks crazy even saying that, because if you win game one, it doesn't matter. They still got their rings that night.
Right.
They're still the defending, reigning NBA champions.
Facts.
That doesn't matter. So why even say that? And then to say that and do what you do in the second half is mind-boggling to me.
I think it's just I'm not even mad at AD's performance. Like, he could have definitely played better in the second half, but I think pissed. We go back to episode 1. That's not AD. AD is not giving you 30. That's not who he can score 30. He can score 40, 50. We see him go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be games like this because that's not his. I mean, AD still was great defensively throughout the game. He could have rebounded the ball better, absolutely. But I think him playing a 5 against Joker is just a bad matchup for him. It wears him out. And he get in the second half. It makes sense. Second half, he gets in the second half. Now his legs a little tired. He been banging with Joker all game, going through these screens, doing all that. That wear on you. And that's a horrible matchup. That's why I thought they put so much emphasis on we got to grab a big. We got to grab a big. And you grab a big and you come out game 1 and 80's at the 5. That doesn't make sense to me.
Christian Wood
can play.
Jackson, they both can play. They're still awful matchups for Joker.
They're bad matchup. But what I'm saying is you put him at the 5, what you immediately are able to do is to play AD off the ball. So now AD is at the 4. Joker goes to his bully ball. Now you can force Aaron Gordon to be the deciding factor. Now he would have played a much bigger role if AD would have been guarding him and helping on Joker. Because now Aaron Gordon is shooting 5 to 7 tray balls because those are the shots that are being presented to you. Mm-hmm. He would have had to play a much bigger role versus allowing Joker to go to work like that.
Or like we said earlier, those Gordon thrives off those backdoor cuts, off those lobs. Yeah, he would get wide open jumpers, that's playing good defense. If you're letting Gordon shoot the ball, you did your job. But there's going to be times where AD is going to help towards Joker, and that backdoor cut is going to be there. That flare is going to be there. That kick to the corner is going to be there.
I mean, it's a good basketball team, so you can't stop everything. But what I'm saying is that when you put AD, who is your first and last line of defense for the Los Angeles Lakers, you put him on Joker when Joker he can bully him at the end of the day. So, you know what I mean? If you can play AD off the basketball, you can take that away. Make Joker hit the turnaround jumper, the one leg step backs and all that. You can live with that. He's capable of making those shots, but I can live with that versus him getting layups and putbacks and all that. AD would have had a much better game on the glass if he'd have been at his natural position. Like, just a bad matchup for him. And I think that we hold him like as a knock against him because he can't guard Joker. He shouldn't be guarding Joker.
I hold him accountable for talking ish and scoring 0 points in the second half. That's what I hold him accountable for. Don't say nothing if you're going to do nothing. I won that quarter. This guy's bugging.
You won that?
Neil, put my point up, Neil.
It's a little disrespectful how you celebrated that one, man. It's a little crazy.
Nah, very, very valid points, my friend. And,
give me no consolation.
We wouldn't be doing this show if I didn't think you had. If I didn't think you had a high IQ. You have a high IQ. That's why we're here. Mine's just a bit higher in that quarter.
Drink your water. You bugging. Fuck it.
I always feel the worst because you guys are way too high IQ for me in terms of my tracking of the game. So I don't know who won. And then Brian's just like, put a point on the board for me. I'm done.
Right.
Just got to go in.
It's all good. I'm pretty sure he's going to redeem himself in the second quarter. Speaking of the second quarter, we got our next topic, which is what we're going to call way too early predictions. We got predictions for MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, who makes All NBA, who wins Rookie of the Year, who wins Sixth Man of the Year award. We're going to start with MVP.
MVP? We're going to start at the top. My MVP, I think, is going to be Tatum. I think they're going to win 60-plus games. I know everybody leaning towards Joker. He's probably the betting favorite. But I'm going with Tatum. He was in the race last year. I think they had a little lapse at the end of the season, but I expect them to win 60-plus games. They got a great lineup. And I'm also go back and change who I think is coming out of East. I think it's Boston.
So we got to go back and check and see if I won that quarter from the last episode because I said Boston.
Yeah, because I'm changing my
take. You're changing your take to my take.
I'm changing my take because I got a chance to think about it. I'm like, I like that lineup a little better. I went back. You know what really changed my opinion on it? Because I'm really watching the episode one myself, right? And I'm listening to my Holiday,
you, right?
I'm watching my Holiday versus Dame take, and I'm like, discrepancy offensively and defensively it's not that big, and I think that Boston's better.
Okay, so
that's my pick. I'm going with Boston.
And
I got
Boston,
Tatum winning MVP.
You going with Boston winning it all, Boston. And Tatum winning MVP.
I ain't gonna say win it all. I got him coming out. I'm still
coming out there.
I don't care if you got the Redeem team out there. I'm going with Brian. I'm going with these Lakers. I need Brian to get 5.
I dig that. I dig the loyalty. You got the Redeem team out there. Getting smoked. This Brian getting smoked.
I'm going Brian.
Okay, that's cool. You got Tatum. That's a very interesting pick. I have Giannis winning his 3rd MVP. And here's why. There's a lot of redemption on the line. There's redemption on the line for the Bucks. They got eliminated in the first round by 8th seed Miami Heat. Should be pissed off. I expect him to be pissed off. I expect them to come out like gangbusters and go out on a crazy streak. They got Dame. So he's got the killer number 2 who's really a 1. He's got that. He averaged 31 and 11 last year. I think the voter fatigue is over for Giannis. I think that first round out, and with Embiid finally winning his MVP and he can stop crying about that, they're not going to vote him, especially given the situation with Philly. I don't think Philly's going to be in the contenders mix like that.
Embiid is going to have a say in this too. He was my second option because
really
you got to think about it, right? You got the Harden saga going on right now, right? So they got that whole fiasco. Harden, I just read on the day where they told him to chill. Don't even don't even fly to Milwaukee for game 1. So now he got a chance to be hero Embiid. So what if you find Philly in a 4th, 3rd seed and Embiid's going crazy?
That's I'm not MVP. Giving him an MVP vote for 4th seed.
He's going to be in the MVP talks if he is carrying his team minus Harden and they are still in the conversation because Maxi's going to be better. They still have a good basketball team. Do they have enough to win a championship? Probably not, but they have a good basketball team. And it's not crazy to think that they could be a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. And if you got Embiid averaging 30 and 14 and blocking shots and all that stuff, he's going to be right there at the top of those conversations.
Yeah, if you have Embiid averaging monster numbers 30 and 12, 30 and 13, and the Sixers are 4th seed, but the Bucks are the number 1 seed and Giannis is averaging 31 and 11, guess who's going to be MVP?
And you also got what they always say, you put 2 guys on the same team, they're going to pull picks from each other. You're going to add Dame over there. And Dame, you talk about Giannis averaged 31 last year. Dame averaged 31 last year.
That's true.
Somebody's got to take a back seat to some extent. And maybe it's Dame, maybe it's Giannis. Who knows? But
we know who it should be.
I mean, you can average. Dame can average more points and still be taking a back seat. Just the opportunities. The floor is going to be more open for him now. It's more different kinds of shots are going to be presented to him now. And you take into account, like you said, now you got this killer, you got this closer.
Mhm.
If Dame is the one closing the show, I mean, if Dame have these Dame type moments, which he's very capable of having, he's hitting game winning shots,
Right.
ended the games, these close games against Boston, whatever the case may be, and Dame is the one closing the show. I'm not saying Dame wins the MVP. I'm just saying it
probably
pulls
takes
energy away
Giannis.
from Giannis. I think Embiid and I think Tatum are in a position where there's no question who's who. Tatum is number one option, and he's going to be, if someone wins the MVP from that team, it's going to be him. And the same thing with Embiid. So I think I'm going with Tatum because I think that they're going to be the one seed.
Okay. And I'm going with Giannis because I think they have a chance to be the one seed. And I think with the three-headed monster over there, sometimes four in Boston with Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, and Holiday, they're each of those four are going to have big nights.
I think you're right, but it's also going to make it easier for Tatum because now you got a big who can shoot the ball and stretch the floor a little bit more. And I don't think nobody takes away from Tatum. It might actually make him better because it's going to be easier touches. It's going to be easier shots presented to him. Like he ain't going to have to work as hard to go get his bucket. He can eat a little bit off the ball. I expect Tatum, and I don't think Tatum has to have better numbers than Giannis to beat him out for the award. Tatum can average 25 and Giannis can average 28, 29 or 30 or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Boston's the number one seed. Tatum's playing great defense.
Mm-hmm.
He's scoring the ball and Boston's winning 63, 64 games. And he don't have one. You got to take that into consideration. That same thing.
He doesn't have one.
Same argument you made for Embiid, that voters fatigue. Tatum's going to have that on his side. He was in the race last year, fell off, didn't win it, but he's going to be in the conversation this year. And if it's a close race between him, Giannis, and Joker, I think Tatum gets it because he don't have one.
It's a fair argument. Now we're going to DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year.
No question, AD. I know he scored 17 points and he didn't play as well as you thought he should in the second half. AD is the best defensive player in the league. I expect him to get it. Holiday probably have a say because, I expect Boston to play at a very high level. But AD, healthy, he plays, what's that, the minimum? 65 games you got to play?
Yes.
Grab awards. AD plays 65 games. He's Defensive Player of the Year.
That's a big if.
Facts. He was crying that he's talking about he's going to play 82. So
I saw him in the third quarter shaking his hand.
Was he?
Trying to get feeling back in his hand. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Already. This guy's wincing in pain because Joker down there bullying.
It's a bad matchup, but
it's a bad matchup. You're campaigning for Defensive Player of the Year for AD, but he has bad matchups.
Who's the kid? Jackson, the kid from Memphis that won it last year?
Jared Jackson Jr.
AD is a bad matchup for him. AD bust his ass in the playoffs. He won Defensive Player of the Year. You feel me? Like, it's going to be bad matchups at times. Marcus Smart won MVP.
He won Defensive Player of the Year.
He can have a bad matchup. You got to deal with Brian. You ain't big enough to deal with Brian.
I think he has a chance to win it this year too.
Smart?
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
That's not crazy.
As a matter of fact, no, I'm not. Because I don't want to pick Giannis again.
For Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
Man, you
I don't want to
stop it, man. You trying to put this guy in wild rare air where he just
hold on.
Trying to make him go?
Wait a second. He did it already.
Yeah,
he won the MVP.
You trying to give him another? You trying to give double him up?
He wants to be in that conversation. I think, and we've talked about this. You love Giannis.
I love Giannis. Giannis has never been in that.
Giannis
has never been in no GOAT conversations ever.
He wants to be in that conversation.
Right, but he don't have the skill set to be in that conversation.
He's 29 years old. He's a two-time MVP. He's a Defensive Player of the Year. He's got a chip, a Finals MVP. Who's to say he can't win Defensive Player of the Year again and MVP in the same year? He's done it already.
He ain't doing it this year. AD's getting MVP.
AD's not going to get it if he's getting smoked by Joker, if he's getting smoked by Giannis.
I just gave you an example of a bad matchup for a guy who won Defensive
Giannis
Player of
is
the Year.
also a bad matchup for AD.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Can you elaborate?
I think that's a good matchup for him. I'm not saying that Giannis can't get busy on him. I mean, I don't. You take any Defensive Player of the Year and say, "Yo, I'm gonna put you on the best offensive player," and he can get smoked. You know what I mean? It's not just because you got the award because you're a great defensive player. We see Drew. Yeah, we both hold Drew in high regard in regards to what he is a defensive player.
Yeah, absolutely.
See him get smoked last year in the playoffs in his matchup. Like he couldn't. Jimmy was killing the ball. Jimmy is not even regarded as one of the best offensive players in the league.
Man, Jimmy turned into something else come playoff time.
I dig that, but he was killing Drew.
Jimmy is to the playoffs what Paul George thinks he is.
Paul George never was, but you feel what I'm saying? Like so, dude, that's not what it is. AD is a great. He's gonna have great numbers. He's gonna probably lead the league in blocks.
Right.
He is a very good on the ball defender, and he's very versatile.
Yeah.
And I don't think Giannis is a bad matchup for him. I think that's actually a good matchup for him because Giannis is one dimensional.
Got it. Do you think Embiid has a shot? Defensive Player of the Year?
No, he's too lazy. He's a good he's a good big defender, but he is very lazy when it comes to defense. He's so I gotta go get 30, I gotta go get 40. Like his mindset is I gotta go get buckets.
You just put that task on him as far as hard as out.
His team he has to, and sometimes when you got that burden, defense takes a back seat. That's the same thing with Kawhi. I mean, he's been injured, but
yeah,
when he was a better defender with San Antonio, right? Because his role was different. His role wasn't I'm the first or second option. You know, your role is, you give us 15, 20, great. Go guard LeBron. That's your job.
Real quick, because we're about to end the quarter. Who makes all NBA? Just first team.
First team, Joker, AD, Giannis.
No.
AD, Giannis, and my guards is gonna be Book. No.
Tatum's winning MVP.
Tatum's gotta be in there.
Yeah.
And Dame.
Ooh.
So Curry gonna miss games.
So the Bucks are gonna have 2 players all NBA first team.
I agree.
But you don't have the Bucks being the number 1 overall seed in the East.
2 versus
5. Put another point up there for me.
Stop it. You bugging. 2 versus 5, bro. It's 2 versus 5.
Put another point up for me, Neil. He's over here contradicting himself.
Boston got a chance to have 5 All-Stars. You talk about 2 All-NBA players.
Go ahead and go ahead and add that point, Neil. You gonna give him a point for effort
for defensive? No, I mean there were several points, and I feel like you had kind of conceded on the defensive play. I mean, you had made a good point on that.
Okay,
I'm trying my best over here, guys.
Nah, you good. You good. I said that's a good judge right there. You a good judge. That's good job. Well, so real quick for me, all NBA first team, Dame, Tatum, Giannis, Joker, and man,
take that point down. I mean, can't even finish his point.
It's tough. Who do we got at the shooting guard?
KD.
I'm picking Book.
They still go by positions, or is it just positionless now?
It's positionless, but I'm gonna go by. That's why it was difficult for me but I'm going with Book. I'll go with Book. So I said Dame, Book, Giannis, Tatum, Joker.
Right.
Okay. Is that essentially what you had, or you had?
I ain't have Book on there.
Okay. And that's halftime. We'll be right back after these messages. This is halftime, and halftime is sponsored by If You Know, You Know Trivia Games. This is a trivia game created by a great friend of mine and friend to the show, Saquon Gillette. If You Know, You Know is a 90s to 2020s hip-hop and R&B trivia game. Is created by Saquon Gillette, as I said, it's Star Corner Production, Star Corner Games, and it's the game you never knew you needed. Guaranteed to have you singing, dancing, laughing, and reminiscing. You'll probably learn something too in the most fun way ever. It's for ages 13 and up, because with hip-hop we have explicit lyrics. But yeah, If You Know, You Know trivia game. Get it on Amazon and wherever games are sold. That is our halftime sponsor. Shout out to. And we are back. This is the third quarter, and right now we're going to get into the second half of the doubleheader last night. Suns versus Warriors. The Suns beat the Warriors at Chase 108-104. There was no Draymond Green. There was no Bradley Beal. CP3 started. What's your take?
I don't like CP3 in the starting lineup. I think you got to move him to the bench. Suck your ego up. Go to the bench, run the second unit. Because, one thing I did notice is that the times when Curry wasn't on the floor and you had CP3 on the floor, you still had a semblance of an offense. Because Curry is their offense. The threat of him shooting the ball is their offense. And with CP3 out there, offense was a little bit different. But it still flowed. I don't think Golden State's that great. I think they got to make a move, and at some point in time, I think they're a playoff team, obviously, but I don't think they're a championship contender as is.
You think that window's closed?
I wouldn't say closed, because I think they just gotta find whatever that next piece is. Look a little stale out there, and I think grabbing CP3 was just a desperation move. Like, we got to do something. And this is the best we can do at this moment. I think in regards to Suns, I forgot about Nurkic. Remember, I made my initial point in episode 1 about them not being able to get dirty, not really being able to get on that glass. And I forgot about him. And he was doing exactly that yesterday.
We had that conversation when the trade was made and Ayton went to Portland and they got Nurkic. And what did I tell you?
But I think that they will get exploded on the offense, because I think Ayton is better than Nurkic. I think he's more physical, but Ayton defensively is better, and I think he brought a lot of different things in regards to pick and roll defense, lob threat. You don't get that with Nurkic, but Nurkic is.
You don't get that with Nurkic, but you get somebody who can knock down a 15-footer. You get somebody who can dive off the pick and roll. He can dive to the basket. He's a big body, so he's going to cause problems in the paint. Maybe he's not the shot blocker, rim protector that Ayton is, but he, as you can see, he could get down the dirty down there. He could get you a double-double. I think he had 12 rebounds last night.
I mean, everything you just named outside of the big body part is Ayton. Diving, all that stuff that's all stuff Ayton does. And the 15-footer, all that stuff Ayton has.
Nurkic also has a better motor. You don't have to tell Nurkic to play.
You ain't got to tell him to play. I just think that there's going to be times when you won't see it until it's time to see it. They're going to be in the playoffs at times when they're going to play against very good teams in the Western Conference, and Nurkic is going to be on the bench when it's time to win.
And why is that?
Because he don't match against. I guess if you're pointing to Denver, I guess he matches up to a certain extent because he's a big body and you got to deal with your Joker.
Yeah,
but Joker still smokes him, and there's going to be other matchups where you play against other teams where he's not going to match up.
Let's get this on record. Joker's going to smoke everybody. All right, Joker is the best player in the league, right?
Yeah, I think. Listen, I know they won the chip last year, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give you a different scenario. Say Philly didn't drop the ball and they had beat Boston, and they would have been the higher seed and it'd have been the favorite to knock off the Heat, right? So I say everything plays out as such, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a great matchup. I think Embiid thinks he's better than him, and I've seen them play against each other, and I've seen Embiid get the best of him.
Yes.
right now, you can't question Joker is the better player. He just won a chip. You can't argue nothing about it. So I'm not making that argument. But I think if they were to match up and teams are equal, and that's what that's what is going to decide it. It's not in the bag that Joker's going to outplay Embiid. Embiid could outplay him.
Here's why I would think Joker will win the matchup. I just go by history. If they were to meet in the finals, I would think it would be a compelling series based on that matchup alone, but I would probably liken it to Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon.
All right, so go back to that. Pat was up 3-2. They ultimately lost that series.
Yes, they did.
Hakeem outplayed him. I think Hakeem was just better than Pat, right?
Yeah.
Overall, not just all the things. Like I know Joker, you talk about the passing and stuff like that he's better than Embiid at. I think Hakeem was just better than Pat, period. But New York was up 3-2. And if you go back and look at that series, game 7, John Starks don't shoot 1 for 50, you know what I mean? Or the coach decides to take John Starks out
with the shrapnel, with the friendly fire.
Yeah, I mean, if you just take John Starks out or make some kind of
we talking about the center matchup.
I'm just saying why they lost, because we saying that we seen this same type of matchup and Hakeem won. So I liken that to what this is. That's not necessarily the case, because Knicks should have won that series.
It is the case to me, and I think it's a fair comparison, because you said Hakeem is just better than Patrick. Joker is just better than Embiid.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a lot of ammo to argue that, because the boy just won a chip, right? But I've seen them match up many times, right? With MVPs on the table, big game. Let's see how we separate each other. And I've seen Embiid outplaying. Matter of fact, every time Embiid sees another big that we say can deal with him, Embiid destroys him. We go back and look at pull the footage up and go look at Embiid's matchups against other bigs. Embiid be busting their ass.
Unfortunately, those matchups are few and far between, because one goes deep and Embiid doesn't get past the second round. So as much as he's quote unquote busting everybody's ass, it don't translate into winning. Not going deep and far into the postseason, which is what he's supposed to be as an MVP of the league, arguably top 3, top 5 player in the league. He's supposed to be carrying them past the second round at this point.
Why? Let me tell you why I disagree, right? I mean, they won the chip. Denver won a chip last year, right?
Yes.
The year prior, when Golden State won the chip, right?
Yeah.
They played Denver in the playoffs, right?
They did.
And there were times during that series, like, damn, Joker ain't shit. They exposing this guy on defense. He looks crazy out there, right? There was time during that series where that was the case. And then, you know why it was the case? Because Murray wasn't on the floor, right? And I don't care how good you are as a big, you need a perimeter player who is as good or better than you for you to ultimately win a championship, right?
Yeah.
And so this year, what happened? Murray played to the level that Joker played, and they won a championship. Embiid hasn't had that. He hasn't had that perimeter guy play on his level for them to get over the hump. And last year, don't get me wrong, like some of that was on him. Like, I mean, they came up short because he came up short a little bit. So I'm not arguing that, but I'm just saying that he hasn't had a player next to him the caliber of Murray. And you go to any big over the course of time, you have a perimeter player. Shaq had Kobe. Wade had Shaq. You know what I mean? Like it's always you're attached to a great perimeter player.
Hakeem had Kenny Smith and Sam Cassell.
They ultimately all those pieces together played great basketball. Go back and look at them. And Pat, and he played against a guy, Pat, who didn't have it either. Your role players just played better than my role players. True. Hence the John Starks going 1 for 50.
1 for 50, that's hyperbole.
Yo, John Starks played. Go back and look at that.
He played terrible. Horrible. He played terrible.
And they had no other option, so they had to keep playing. And it was a close game. It wasn't like, yo, he's 1 for 50 and it's a close ball game. You know what I mean? You make some of these shots.
Yeah, it makes some of them. The Knicks have a championship.
Facts, but you know, it is what it is. You lose, you lose. It is what it is. But
you lose, you like you said, like you either climb the mountain or you don't.
Facts. And that's why my argument isn't that Embiid is better than him. I just know if they match up, Embiid is going to work.
Book had 32 points last night. KD had 18
and struggled.
Is this Book's team?
I think we said that in episode 1.
I want to ask again to reiterate.
Book's team, like Book. I mean, and I don't know if it's our team's doing something special, because I ain't seen nothing special that Golden State was doing to take KD away. We just play defense and you miss shots, and at times you're gonna miss shots, right? That's just what it is. Book just don't miss shots.
And you said the reason why in the previous episode, you said the reason why it will be Book's team, right? Because he gets a little bit more attention. KD gets the most attention, so Book's going to be the guy by default. Looking at that game, I don't think that's the case.
I don't think it's the case either. I think Book is just
might like just that
be better. You even think about how they closed the game. They closed the game off of, what is it, like 5 straight assists from Book?
Yeah.
Like, not only are you getting the buckets, right? When we got to close the game out and the question mark is, do we have a point guard? We give the ball to you and say, go make all the decisions for us. Not KD. We ain't giving the ball to KD to make the decisions for us. I think that maybe this is the, sometimes you get that changing in the guard, or sometimes you on a team as great as you may be, where you just recognize, like Wade and Brian, like, all right, Brian, you him. I might have to take a step back to allow you to be him. Maybe that's what we got going on over there.
Wade recognized that and had to relay that message to LeBron. Does KD recognize that and relay that message to Book? And where does Bill fit in all this?
It's going to definitely be some kind of adjustment, because even in a night last night where KD was struggling, he still got his looks. He still got his 18 to 20 shots. You know what I mean? On a night where you ain't getting, your shot ain't falling, where does Bill, like you said, where does Bill fall into this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because Bill got to get his touches. And what if Bill was playing well, Book is playing well? KD, you cool with, you off tonight, take 10 shots, take 12. You know what I mean?
Are you cool with falling back? Is KD one of the greatest scorers who ever lived, a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer? Is he cool with being the third option at times? I'm not saying it's going to be a regular thing, but there's going to be nights when Book and Bill are cooking. There's going to be nights where KD don't have it. There's also going to be nights where KD looks like KD.
Facts. But I mean, then you also got to say, now Bill's out here, now that maybe the floor opens up a little bit more. Now it's so, all your attention is on Book and KD. Now you throw Bill out there. Maybe it's not as easy to focus all your defensive attention on those two guys and make it hard on them, because you got another scorer out there.
Right. So it's a good problem to have.
Facts. I mean, they look good. They don't look great. They don't look like world beaters or nothing like that.
Do you trust Frank Vogel?
Frank Vogel is ass. Got him up out of LA for a reason.
Do you think he took a little bit too much of the blame in LA? I think he's a very good coach.
He took too much of the blame, because you added, and I don't think it was so much a fault of the Lakers. You added Westbrook trying to counter Harden being over there with Kyrie and KD. So you got your big three, and then you unable to add shooting. So you got Westbrook, and then you don't have shooting. So Bron needs shooting next to him. Westbrook needs shooting. You ain't got no shooting, and you got both of them on the floor together. Kind of a recipe for what it actually turned out.
Yeah. Clay had 15. He struggled a bit. The Warriors organization and Clay are far off as far as money goes in their contract extension talks. Do you think that's going to be a distraction for the Warriors moving forward this season?
I think Clay's a professional. I don't think that he's not going to pull no Harden shit where I'm in the media talking about, I need a contract extension. I don't think that'll be the case, because you had the same situation with Draymond last year, and I don't think it was a distraction. I think they came up short because they just wasn't good enough. But I don't think it becomes a distraction. They're professionals.
And speaking of the Draymond situation of last year, Jordan Poole is now in Washington. Do you see that the Warriors miss him? I mean, is it too early to gauge that yet, being that it's only game one? Or do you see a very prominent missing component with Poole leaving and going to Washington?
I mean, Poole was your firecracker, right? Poole could come off the the bench or start or whatever the case may be, and Poole could go for 40, and then Poole could go for 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have the luxury of bringing somebody like that off the bench or have them in the lineup with Steph and Clay, these guys who are, more consistent. That's a plus. I don't know. I really, because you got CP3, maybe that addition, you don't really see that addition till you get to the playoffs.
But here's the thing about CP3: is he gonna make it to the playoffs?
Maybe he makes it because it ain't so much on you. You ain't the starting point guard. You ain't got to carry the load. You know what I mean? You more of a complimentary piece on this team.
I think that punch in the face ended their dynasty. I think ended their run. I think that punch in the face kind of like messed things up going forward, because last year, the beginning of last year, they were grooming Poole to be the future of the Warriors,
to be the next splash brother,
and now he's not there.
Right.
So those plans are kaput. They're out the window, and it's because Draymond Green knocked him out.
You know what's crazy is like that's how quickly the page turns, right? It looked like they had a plethora from episode 1. Plethora, right?
That's our word on high IQ basketball, a plethora.
They had a plethora of young talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all that shit is going, right? All thing they got left is Kuminga.
Wiseman's gone.
Right.
Poole is gone.
All that shit they had, all that young talent that you said, they got so much.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to make this transition.
It's an easy transition.
Right. And all that shit is gone. One thing you got left is Kuminga. And Kuminga just don't look like he's going to turn into what
so now you lose all that young talent that was supposed to transition the Warriors into a new era for their organization. And within a year's time, you actually get older.
Facts.
I think they're a second round out at best again. And if they run into the Kings in the first round, they're going home.
You're being disrespectful, man. You being disrespectful.
They're going home.
Kings ain't do it yet.
They're going home.
Kings ain't
I said that on episode 2 in October. I said that. They meet in the playoffs first round. The Warriors are going home.
Here's the thing before we switch up.
Yeah.
What do they? Because in my mind, I'm like, all right, they're gonna make some kind of adjustment at some point in time. They maybe
speaking of the Warriors,
okay. CP3 situation doesn't work, whatever the case may be. They figure it out and go grab something. I don't know what did they grab that works. Like I don't think there's another. I don't know what that piece is to be that spark to get them.
In 2022, it was Wiggins and Poole.
Facts.
Wiggins hasn't really been the guy he was in 2022 since he's come back from personal issues.
Right.
I don't know. Does Wiggins become that guy again? If Wiggins becomes that guy again, we might have a conversation. It's 17 points per game, 5-6 rebounds per game, a couple steals, a block. He could be that defensive presence along with Draymond Green that they were in 2022. I don't know if we see it. And then we haven't even seen Draymond yet. So
right. I mean, because that's exactly what I was about to say. I got to see what they look like when Dre comes back.
Mm-hmm.
CP3 slides to the bench. Maybe things look a little different.
You think he's going to go to the bench, bro? I
think he has to. I think it's like with Westbrook. You don't want to put him on the bench, right? So you do everything in your power to. We got to see. Then as it doesn't turn into what you hope it turns into. Eventually, you say, "All right, you go to the bench."
Okay. We are going to. So it's 2-2 now.
I'm surprised it ain't 4-0. Me, real talk. I'm surprised it ain't 4-0. Like you're fucking crazy. I'm over here carrying. I got backpacks on.
You bugging. You bugging.
Got my backpack.
I got a whole Jan Sport and a rucksack over here.
The drawing with the little water. Got pull my little water spout out and all that.
No, let us people listening at home. Yeah, let us know if I'm messing up. But yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
it's all good.
Take that point away. Take that point away. He disrespected the show, bro. But now we're heading into the fourth quarter. Is crunch time, and our fourth quarter topic is the Wemby debut. It's tonight. Against Luka, Kyrie, and the Mavericks. My take on Wemby is a otherworldly talent. Was he 7'4"? He's got the skills of a guard. He's essentially a 7'4" guard, for crying out loud. I did see some mechanics that kind of frightened me, though.
What's that?
On his jump shot. I wanted to talk to you about this on the first episode, but we didn't have time. On his jump shot, his right knee buckles every single time.
I didn't notice that.
And it looks bad too.
Does it?
Like
you talking about on a regular catch and shoot,
on a regular catch and shoot hit, or on a drive, a pump, a one dribble pull up, all the moves that lead to a jump shot. His right knee kind of like caves and moves over to the left side every single time. I don't wish any injury on anybody. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but that's not a good look. It kind of reminds me of when, I don't know if you remember this conversation that we had. It was after Kobe had tore his Achilles in 2013, and I was like, bro, look at his whole career. On his jump shot, he landed on his left foot first every single time.
He got 19 years out of it, right?
Right. You're right. So maybe I'm bugging, but it just doesn't look. It makes me cringe when I see it. It looks like he's gonna get injured every time he shoots the ball.
My Wemby take.
That's just not.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I was worried about the injuries off top. I'm like, yo, this guy's 7'4". These guys come in the league and these guys always break their foot. They do something. Something happens, especially with the feet. You know, it's always something happen with these guys.
Right.
I was like, it's not gonna last. I don't know about the health concerns, you know what I mean? But kid looked like he gonna be the best player in the league real quick.
When?
Maybe the year 3.
Year 3.
I think year 3, 4, he's the best player in the league. Like, yo, this kid's blocking free balls. Like you're open. The ball has swung to you. You're wide open in the corner, and you go to shoot the ball, and this guy is just.
You're talking about the Wiggins shot, right?
Yeah, I'm just come out there to contest like as I should. I'm just getting a hand up, and I'm blocking your shot. That's kind of like, and I'm that's just a play. The dunk he had over Thomas Brown. Like, it's some things that he is doing that
Thomas Bryant,
right?
Yeah,
some things he's doing. It's like,
did you see Thomas Bryant's face?
He's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, people ain't supposed to be doing this.
They said it looked like Space at the end of the first Space Jam.
That's the what's the elongated man?
Elongated man.
Like, yo, like, and the bull looked like he got like when he matched up with Chet. It was a little chip on my shoulder, like they comparing you to me, like I'm better than you, and I'm about to bust your ass. And I think if he got that in him, if he got dog in him where he got the chip on his shoulder based off comparisons, then he's gonna be a problem because he's already supremely skilled. San Antonio's a playoff team. Remember, I said that. At the very least, they will be in the play-in, fighting for it to get in.
He's that good.
I think the team ain't that bad.
The team ain't that bad.
And you're adding him. I think that they're a playoff team. Pop will be back in the playoffs this year.
You heard it here first. On High IQ Basketball, Raymond Byrd is predicting that the San Antonio Spurs, who had the number 1 overall pick last year, are going to at least make the play-in.
And Wimpy's going to be an all-star. That's what's going to fuck y'all up. That's what's gonna fuck you up because you already know.
The last time we had a rookie as an all-star,
you already know he ain't from here, so you know his support is gonna be crazy. He's gonna get the fan.
Wow, it's gonna be
fan support gonna be wild crazy.
It's gonna be yow crazy.
He gonna probably be a starter.
It's gonna be yow crazy.
He gonna be a all-star starter year 1. That's crazy. Why? They gonna be mad. He gonna be an all-star starter this year.
So it's safe to say even rookie of the year too, because we didn't get to that.
I like Chet, and I think I think maybe they got. I don't know. I like Chet. I like that team. I think they're a playoff threat as well. But I think MVP. I'm not MVP, but rookie of the year. I think he's an all-star.
What do you think about red shirt rookies in the league.
We seen it a lot though.
I mean, what do you? What
was
do
a
you?
red shirt rookie.
Yeah,
Blake Griffin was.
Blake was.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
what do you?
Ben.
Do you like it? Do you think it's fair?
I mean, if you come in and you're hurt, right, and you haven't played, you're still technically a rookie. You haven't stepped on the NBA floor. Now, if you in the middle, you 10, 15, 20 games into the season, you get hurt. I get it. But you haven't played any minutes or you came into the Embiid came in to Philly hurt. I get how you're still a rookie. I'm not against that.
Okay.
So you're talking about kids, guys who ain't, I mean, it's not like Wemby was a senior at Kansas University and then he came to the league. Like this dude basically fresh out of high school, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So he's a rookie. Was he 19, 18 years old?
No, well, I'm talking in terms of Chet, because Chet was hurt last year.
Chet was a freshman at Gonzaga and came straight to the league. I'm cool. He ain't played no NBA ball.
Is Drew Timmy? You see it? You see how his knee is bending every time?
Sorry, but even if you got a little bit of music in there from YouTube, I apologize. But yeah, I'm trying to find that little bit. I can see it because he does go inward right there.
Yeah,
you see it?
He goes inward on his knees.
Work,
Let me
bro.
pause it and then I'll pull it up so people can see it at home. So here's him from the other side. Sorry,
it was that one tape, that one corner jumper.
Coming up.
See it.
Yeah, go to the other side. Come on. Right there.
Yeah.
Right there where it's
it's almost touching his other knee.
You get a little concern there. It's and you can see the foot plant is like favoring it and it's twisted there. I don't know. Yeah, that's tall guys. It's always just anyway. I just want to find that because it's an interesting thing there.
Yeah.
That's great. I might get. It's crazy that you even saw that. It's kind of crazy that you even noticed that.
Is it crazy or is it high IQ?
Listen, I mean, like I said, Wibby's all-star starter this year, and it's gonna be earned. So it ain't even like it's gonna be all given. Spurs are a playoff team. He giving you a dub this year.
So what's his a dub? 20?
Dub plus. I don't know exactly what that number gonna be. He giving you a dub.
Gonna give you the dub 5?
He ain't giving you the dub 5. It's crazy. He ain't giving you the platter with double sides and the soda and a little cake.
He ain't gonna give you the 25 piece mango.
He give you the dub.
Not give you the 25 piece mango habanero.
No cake. And you ain't getting no
Cajun fries.
Soda with that.
No Cajun fries. Dang.
Give you the dub, maybe dub 2.
A dub 2.
Dub deuce, whatever.
A deuce 2. I don't know, man. Chet, I don't think Chet's gonna do that. I don't think Chet's gonna give you a dub because you got SGA and they're gonna have to share the ball. I do think they're gonna be very formidable. I do think they have a chance to make the playoffs. They had a chance to make the playoffs last year without Chet.
West is tough.
West is tough. I
mean, Oklahoma got a good. And what's crazy? Like all that shit is starting to come into play now. All those trades and all those draft picks they grab.
Right.
Now you look at the team right now, and they're very formidable. And they still got more first round picks trickling in that they still got from other teams. And if a free agent that fits on what they got, they got the ammo to go scooping. They gonna be shit look crazy when they first did it, but it's starting to come into play. Like the plan, the process, or whatever you want to call it.
It's the process. Screw the process. It's the process to get you second round out 3 years running. That's what the process to get you. Okay, so you got Wemby. Who wins the night though?
Spurs who?
Spurs Mavericks.
This is being recorded October 25th.
I'm going with Dallas.
You going with Dallas?
Luke is still him. That's not be
Luka is definitely him.
Don't be disrespectful. You already know how I feel about Kai.
Right. I saw somewhere somebody was asking if Kyrie, because Kyrie was ranked like 34th or something like that.
Disrespectful.
Is he? He's more skilled than Luka. It's safe to say, right?
Kyrie is arguably more skilled than
Anybody.
who's ever came in the league. Like,
Right.
the shit that he does with a basketball that is normal, not I'm on the playground doing and one shit. This is shit he doing in the league to get to a shot is special. The shit I remember one time they playing Brooklyn. They playing against Golden State, and he hit Kyrie when he hit Steph with that turnaround, but he give him the fake to the right, but
that
then
was
with
so crazy.
That shit was crazy.
That was so
the footwork,
crazy.
The boy's footwork is like, I don't know how you work on all this shit that he be working on, but skill set.
I don't even know how you even think to do that.
The skill set is wild crazy.
Because he did the half spin off the drop. He dropped the dribble and then did the half spin. So the ball was still bouncing up as he was making. That John was wow. And he got the bucket.
The brain worked different.
That's why you're weirdo.
My man brain worked different.
That's why he be on some other stuff, man.
Listen.
You gotta be kind of weird to come up with the stuff he comes up with on the basketball court, to even think to come up with that stuff. That what do they call it? That gather step lay that he does where he puts the ball all the way up top and then that's crazy.
Kyrie different. That's why you listen, as much of a nut he is, all the shit Brian had to deal with the ball. Brian wanted him back bad as shit because Brian know who he is.
I think both of them figured out. It's kind of like EPMD. Paris Smith ain't good without Eric Sherman. You know what I mean? They got back together. They realized, bro, we back to business. Let's go.
Right.
You know, I ain't buying no Paris Smith album. I'm buying EPMD album. No, they needed to get back together. I wanted Kyrie to go back to LA.
Right.
Bad. They signed as much as I had to say about Kyrie. I wanted that bad.
Listen, I don't know if you hating on D-Lo or crazy. You replace D-Lo with Kyrie, we win in the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, you also said that about Drew too.
Yeah, it's a lot of people you can.
It's a lot of upgrades for D-Lo.
It's a lot of
upgrades for D'Angelo Russell. I like D'Angelo Russell. I've told you on many occasions I like D'Angelo Russell. I don't like some of the stuff that he does that takes everybody else out of the ball game though.
Listen, man, he ain't it. We say Kyrie he ain't it. I mean, like the things that he not a playmaker, not a great playmaker, so he's not even a real one. He more of a two, but he can't even necessarily get you bucket. Like he got to be hot. If he ain't hot, he ain't getting buckets.
Yeah,
this on some regular Kyrie on his regular is giving you the deuce 5. He give you the full platter with the cake, soda, all that.
The canned soda?
Canned soda got your joint secured up in the plastic bag, all that. D-Lo ain't giving you that.
Wow. He's not, but I saw flashes of him getting busy. He did.
Yeah, when things is going right, man, he can give you the pizza boat. You know what I mean? He can give you the pizza boat, but
now you just
he ain't giving you the deuce 5 platter.
You talking crazy.
He built like that.
So we got time in this quarter. We could talk about the Las Vegas Aces winning the championship over the New York Liberty. They won in 4 games in a best of 5 series. A'ja Wilson now has 2 rings back to back. What's your take, man? What's your take on the Aces and the Liberty, 2 super teams?
First, I was mad not to see my girl Candace be a part of that, because I wanted her to climb that mountain and be in that GOAT conversation. But
so this ring don't count.
Absolutely not. You ain't play.
She played 18 games.
You ain't playing,
which is almost half of the season.
You ain't playing the playoffs.
Didn't play
championship
okay.
was one. You didn't play. That's just what it is. So she don't count for her.
Collect that ring.
She gonna collect it. Yeah, I've seen some stat where they say, "Oh, she's the first female player to win championships at 3 different organizations." Nah, you got 2 with 2 organizations. This is costume jewelry they giving you.
No, it's not. It's real
costume
jewelry she's gonna be getting. She was at the parade
when they pull up the highlights on the pad. When you get the VHS, when they hand out that VHS of the championship run, she ain't gonna be on the artwork.
All right.
She not gonna be in the highlights.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Need I remind you back when the WNBA first started and the Comets were on their 4 title run, Swoops wasn't part of that first one. She
was
still
there,
got
right?
that ring though.
That's when she had the baby,
She
right?
was pregnant, yeah.
I don't care.
Well,
She got
nobody said
listen,
Swoops ain't got 4 rings.
Swoops got 3. I would tell her. If she was sitting right here, right now, I'd tell Swoops, you got 3 rings. You ain't play. Keeping it 100.
Well,
listen, remember Summer League? Remember Summer League and I got ejected game 1 of the playoffs?
Yeah,
and y'all went on to win a chip. That ain't my chip. What I look like saying I got me in Summer League. I ain't win no chip. I ain't even accept my little trophy and when Tank Shaw gave me my joint. I was like, I'm good. I ain't earned that joint. I wasn't even on the squad. I know the rules.
We did win a championship without you.
I was the leading scorer in the league.
Neil,
before you go into your bullshit, Neil, I averaged 30 points a game in that league. I was the leading scorer. I was the best player in the whole league. So, you know what I mean?
All that is true. All that is 100% true. What he conveniently leaves out is that while he was the leading scorer for our rec league in the summer, we went 3-5 and we limped into the playoffs. Once he got ejected, we went on a run, winning 3 straight, including the championship against the number 1 ranked team. So while he was the man,
I was on my Brian GM. I brought you over.
You did bring me. You did bring me over.
Like,
you did bring me over.
2 guys did Scary win the MVP?
He won the MVP. Shout out to Scary.
He won the MVP. You should have won the MVP, right?
I had 18 and 10 in the championship
I brought
game.
both y'all over. Y'all wasn't on the original roster.
I had 18 and 10 in the championship game. Yeah, you did a good job of GMing.
All right, so part of that 3-5, you might.
So why ain't you accept your chip, your trophy?
Because I ain't contribute to that chip.
You just said you did.
I was out. I got kicked out in the first playoff game, so I did not. That wasn't my chip.
Here's the crazy part: had you still played and not got ejected, we probably would have lost that game.
It was close. I don't know.
Not saying it would have been on
exactly
you.
What you're saying. Whatever the coach was on my top crazy, so he made sure every shot was mine.
Yeah,
that's what it was. You know what I mean? And when I left, he probably utilized all y'all. So
we won by committee.
Right.
I should have won MVP. There's a lot of things in my life, I'm trying to get over. I seek therapy for a lot of stuff. That's one of them. I should have won MVP. I had 18 and 10. I had 18 and 10 in the championship game.
Power forward.
Undersized power forward, 6'1" power forward, bro. Ain't that crazy? In rec league and in high school, get to college, I'm a 2 guard.
Tractor trailer.
It's stupid. They're like, all right, man, I'm ignoring you. Being disrespectful, man. Since he conveniently left out some key facts, he should lose that quarter.
Nah, I won that quarter.
This one's tough. So I think Brian gets a point for Wemby.
Okay.
I think in my Kyrie, and then the Kyrie, that was just an agreement. I'm counting those as 0 points. You guys basically agreed.
All right, that washes
Kyrie,
out.
that makes sense. WNBA, I was going to say Ray won. Okay. I thought Ray got 1, but then Brian's got 1 there. So I got Brian with 2. On that one, putting you at 4, and then Ray's coming in at 3. Ray, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Your boy wins episode 2 of High IQ Basketball.
Before you go into your OT.
The OT is going to involve both of us.
All right, but I want to tell Dwight Howard, you gotta chill, B. You out here acting wild.
Okay,
crazy,
this is his OT.
Okay.
Dwight out here acting wild, crazy. I see over trying to take cheeks and all that. Like, you gotta chill. Dwight, he trying to get back in the league. Your energy crazy out here, B. You gotta chill. And you're never getting back in the league. You gotta stay over there. We're in China. We're in Taiwan. You gotta stay over there, B. You acting real crazy out here.
All them videos you be posting about all them cats that need to come over to Taiwan with you. Chill. It sounds like you're recruiting for another reason, my boy. You gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Man. You always try to throw him in the top 50 and all
bro,
that.
When the situation came out and it leaked, I deleted all my posts. Not gonna have me out here slipping.
You ain't getting in the hall now. I ain't letting you in the hall.
That's you. Wow.
I'm taking you off the top 50.
You bugging. I'm not doing any of that. But you definitely out here moving crazy. I think, you know what? I'm going to leave it at that. This has been High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and my right-hand man, 50 grand, 25 in each hand, Raymond Byrd. Tune in next week. We're going to have a very good show, episode 3. Thank you for everybody who's subscribing to the YouTube page, following us on Instagram and following us on Facebook and X, aka Twitter. Continue to hit that subscribe button.
I'm interrupting. My apologies.
Nah, you good.
I got to my baby Lunny. She was watching the first episode with me, and she was like, "Daddy, you ain't saying nothing about me." My baby is a great dancer. And listen, she top tier. You go on Diva Dance IG or whatever. My girl top tier, and she told me I had to say something about her, so I had to say something about it.
Now I gotta say something about my kids. I'm not gonna be
My baby is watching the episode, and she's like, "You ain't saying nothing about me."
I'm not gonna be the deadbeat dad on this show. That's not happening. Shout out to Brianna, National Honor Society. Shout out to Ava, my little hooper, and that is High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. Have a good one. Need a cut? I know I do. At least once every few days. What's that? You can't afford it. Price is too high? No need to worry. Phenomenal's Barbershop and Salon offers top-notch grooming at an affordable price with no long waits. Located at 40 Berlin Road, Clementon Lake Plaza, New Jersey, right next to Clementon Park. Call 856-782-4900 to set up an appointment, pull up, and walk out looking phenomenal.
I'ma have to tie my Nikes for this one. I'ma go for like a quadruple double. We playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose it, the only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so now shoot it. If fortune favors the bold, that's why I keep on just winning. If timing is just the essence, then I'ma keep on just spending. I'm worth a couple of bucks, shout out to Antetokounmpo. Dropping in b-ball facts that's seeping into your bloopers. Advising like Tony Kukoc, we getting into it mucho. Directing all these plays like my name was Tony Russo. Ballin', that's how we do so. I'm going in for the win. Penetrate the lane like we way back in 2010. I'm stomping straight in my Timbs. The basics just like I'm Tim. I'm dunking on you haters. A poster is where you live. It's magic all in my wrist. Steph Curry, we going swish. It's showtime like the 80s. Basketball is where we live. I'm highly gifted and skilled. I'm going in for the kill. The game is on the line. Remember, ayo, what's the deal? Pass it to Brian Isley. I bet he probably surprised me. High IQ basketball is the show and it's not a hobby. We playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose it, the only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so now shoot it. We playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose it, the only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.